Hello and welcome to the session Learn. Hello and welcome to the session of Learn, Create and Help, the session 2 in which we are going to focus on internship requirements of the student and the general queries related to the internship. With me, I have CS JUZER MASTA and CS SHASHANK Dave. Both of you, warm welcome to the session. SHASHANK is a practicing company secretary and a motivational speaker. JUZER is a qualified company secretary and is manager at Cipla Limited. So, as queries which have been shared in the Google form, we will straight away start with the questions which have been asked in the Google form so that we can have the maximum utilization of the time since we have 45 minutes for this session. So, Jose, one of the question which is very common and I think most of the students would want to know, articleship kahan kare? Company or firm? Which is better? Better to do articleship in a firm or to do it in a company? So what is your take in that, Juzair?
So actually, if you have to decide basis upon the career actually. For example, if you want to go practice in future, then it is better that you go in a firm. And if you want to do a job in a corporate, then you should go for a company. So, but basically, I also feel that networking in both options, like for firm or corporate, networking is the same. In corporate, you interact with many finance professionals, many other business professionals, and in network in PCS also you interact with many professionals as well. Secondly, sir, the most important, many people feel that the pay package in PCS is not that good. The pay package in corporate is too good. Maybe yes, but was I have my friend who recently joined a law firm. He is getting a good package. He did his training from Cipla and now he's been in a law firm and is getting super package. Secondly, sir, it also depends upon the learning perspective, because if you are in a corporate and if you may get the best work, but if you don't have that intent to do that, then maybe you will lag behind. And if in PCFs, if you're not getting the work but you have that intent that yes, I want to learn more, then that will definitely help. Secondly, I think that many people have that myth that I want to go in a listed company, then only I learn everything. I want to go in a top company like RIL, Wipro, Tata, but that's not the case, because in a listed company, in a public listed company, all compliances are done which are done in a listed company. The difference is that stock exchange compliances, and many a times I have believed, this is my practical experience, public listed companies people who are in the public listed companies get more exposure than the listed company, because there is a clear demarcation, because in listed companies there is a CS team, there's a different CS team, and there's a different law team. So in small size, like mid-sized companies, there is a CS and a legal team which is one only, and from there you get a lot of exposure because you do legal compliances as well as the corporate secretarial compliances. So I don't feel so that both the options are bad, but as I'm in a corporate, I feel corporate is a good option.
Okay. So would you like to share your experience in your internship, like how you decided when you were supposed to give your internship, like when you were planning to start with your internship, what was the thing in your mind while you were deciding about it? Like how you decided to get into a company?
Okay. So actually, basically, I was also very confused whether should I go for a PCS or a corporate. But I had discussion with many of my seniors as well as you, and then I decided that corporate is one of the best, because due to some problems I had to jump into a corporate. And secondly, I felt that when I got an opportunity from Cipla, I thought this is the one which I should grab it, because you never get such an opportunity again and again. So one of the thing was the brand, which told me that yes, I should go on for that. And secondly, uh, somewhere or the other, I wanted to do in a corporate only. So maybe that pushed me to go in Cipla.
Okay. So Shashank, what is your take? Firm or company? What should be the ideal option for the students?
So first of all, I would ask them that they should ask themselves a question कि मुझे आगे जाके क्या करना है. See, I was very sure that I wanted to get into practice, and I was very clear कि अगर practice में जाना है, so I would be going to a practicing company secretary ताकि मैं वहाँ से पूरा exposure ले सकूँ, and then I can come back whenever I do. In fact, tomorrow I complete my 5 years of 5 years of being a member, and in 10 days I complete my 5 years of becoming a practicing company secretary. So I was very clear about it. I feel a lot of people get very confused. They do it in a company or so, and then they are not sure about their future. So also Juzair has also mentioned कि अगर practice में जाना है तो practicing company secretary should be preferred. I also feel कि अगर मैं एक company में जाता हूँ तो it's only a one company, and if it has a subsidiaries, so maybe 4, 5, 25, I don't know. तो मुझे अगर एक particular चीज जैसे AGM है तो वो कंपनी में एक ही बार होगा पूरे साल में. But if I am with a practicing company secretary, and possibly if the number of trainees are less, suppose मैं अकेला ही हूँ या हम दो ही लोग हैं, and if they have 25 companies, so क्या होगा, मुझे 25 AGMs का experience मिल जाएगा. So maybe because I've done it with the practicing company secretary, तो मेरा mindset थोड़ा उस तरफ है. One of the things I also want to mention is that a lot of students keep asking me कि सर, मैंने उनसे पहले ही कहा है कि ऐसा नहीं है कि हमें सिर्फ लिस्टेड कंपनी में ही करना है, बिकॉज द थिंग इज कि इंडिया में कंपनीज कितनी है, उसमें से लिस्टेड कंपनीज कितनी है, इंस्टीट्यूट के स्टूडेंट्स कितने हैं. सो इज इट गोइंग टू बी पॉसिबल कि हम सबको लिस्टेड कंपनी में डाल सके. बट एवरी टाइम आई गेट अ कॉल और एवरी टाइम आई गेट अ मैसेज, सर लिस्टेड कंपनी में करना है ट्रेनिंग, इवन आफ्टर आई स्पोकन टू देम अबाउट इट 6 महीने के बाद कि सर लिस्टेड में करना है, कुछ कर, कुछ हेल्प हो सकता है तो प्लीज बताना. So I'm like, ठीक है, उस टाइम मैं फिर उनको कुछ नहीं बोलता because they want to go. But I'll share an experience of a very dear person to me, a very dear student to me actually. And what had happened is that she joined a very reputed listed company, and 8 months के लिए, so 12 months के ट्रेनिंग में 8 months के लिए तो उसने सिर्फ जेरोक्स ही कॉपी वही किया है, जेरोक्स ही निकाला है या प्रिंट ही निकाला है. आफ्टर दैट हर ट्रेनिंग स्टार्टेड और उसके बाद लॉकडाउन शुरू हो गया. सो व्हाट हैज शी एक्चुअली लर्न. सो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि अगर मैं लिस्टेड कंपनी के लिए भी जा रहा हूँ तो आई शुड नो कि लिस्टेड कंपनी में मैं कुछ सीखने वाला हूँ के भी नहीं, वहां पर कितने ट्रेनीज है, वहां पे कितने कंपनी सेक्रेटरीज है. पता चला हायरार्की में मैं क्योंकि सबसे नीचे हूँ, मेरे पास आखिर तक काम ही नहीं आ रहा है. सो दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
Absolutely, this is a really important fact to do your due diligence. We study due diligence subject, and while we go for our internship, at that point of time, I always say that you should do your due diligence. What kind of work is there? So maybe like Juzair mentioned about the networking. Networking plays a very important role because if you have a good network, you get couple of benefits. One, you get connected very quickly than others, and secondly you get connected to authentic place. Like if I have to if I'm looking for an articleship, let's say if I'm, and Shashank is one of my senior, or let's say Juzair is one of my friend, or he is one of my senior, so if I have contacts with him, so I can immediately get connected to. Like I remember Juzair when he joined Sipla, at that point of time one of his senior had just completed the internship there in Sipla. So right after that, Juzair, what was he was having a very authentic view that what kind of work he is going to get there. So इससे बहुत ज़्यादा आपको benefit होता है, because lot of time what happens, people look for one of the common mistake which students do is that they look for the brand name, the tag name, but ultimately, okay, the tag is going to be good in your CV, but at the same time, you'll also have to keep a balance between the work. So what kind of work you're going to get. Of course, what work experience I have got in a company, maybe the next intern who is going to come may not get the same work, because that also depends on the caliber. So if from the principal point of view, if I talk about, if I have to intern like A and B, at that point of time, I would see that who has a better grasping power. So if A has got a better grasping power than B, then definitely I would like to give more work to A. So that plays a very important role. But on the other hand, you should also do that proper due diligence, and feel free to discuss when you go for your interview that what kind of work I'm going to get, what kind of work I'm going to get. Be very firm, and it's not that you have to be rude in that, and it's not that when you ask them वो बुरा मान जाएंगे या उनको गुस्सा हो जाएगा. Trust me, ऐसा नहीं होगा. और अगर इस क्वेश्चन पे कोई गुस्सा होता है, so this means वो आपको क्या सिखाएंगे. If you have a question, if you just ask the basic question, because learning again starts with your inquisitiveness and with your question. So it's very important that when you go for your internship, please do your proper due diligence, whether it's a firm or it's a company. And like how both of them mentioned that you have to see where your interest lies, 5 years down the lane, where you want to work. So a lot of my students, when they ask me, sir, company join kare, firm join kare, this is the first question which I generally ask to them, that 5 years down the lane, where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a practicing company secretary, or do you see yourself into a listed company? Because if you want to see into yourself as in a company secretary in a listed company or placed in a company, then definitely company would be beneficial, because if you have done your internship in a firm, then shifting to a company would be very difficult, because no company is going to, like, it's not that no company is going to absorb you or no company is going to take you, but the only thing is it will be very difficult to penetrate that mindset that अरे इसने तो फॉर्म में इंटर्नशिप किया है. See, anyway, that question is there. आपको experience क्या है, आपको आता क्या है? So with that tag, it becomes really very difficult, and especially if you go for the, blue chip companies like Reliance or all those. So they expect that if you have already done your internship in a listed company, then it becomes very important. Also, when you go for your internship in a company, you should always ask what is their retention policy, whether they absorb their interns or not, because that's again going to be a question which you're going to face a year after, once your internship gets over, or maybe 21 months later when your internship is going to get over. So please do your due diligence. If you are planning to join a firm, right, at that point of time, again, it's very important to see what kind of clients they have. So when you join a firm where you have been promised that we have got these clients, like a simple example, if someone asks me, sir आपके पास क्या काम आता है, and I say मेरे पास merger का काम आता है, and merger के काम में मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, merger के काम में मैं खाली form filings कर रहा हूँ. So again, at that point of time, it is not going to put a value addition in your career, because form filing is something which is very basic, which you're going to learn in a month or 2 months time, and for that you don't even have to be a CS. Even if you pick up a BCom graduate, and if you explain the person well, so within 2 months you're going to get learned. But yes, you should go beyond the form filing, because form filing is the core area that's obviously you should focus on, but beyond that, your articleship takes on, it is going to cater a lot of things beyond form filings. So you should look for that, and due diligence is very important. And all those female participants who are here, not that male participants के लिए ये matter नहीं करेगा, but for female participants, like a brother, if I have to explain you all, always go and check what kind of work environment is there, because often I would not like to mention a particular case of or two in that, but a lot of time it has happened that student has joined the internship firm, and then the work culture or the work environment is not that great. So it is very, very important that you look for that kind of due diligence also. And for that, the best way is to get in touch with the existing articles who are there, because they are the ones who are going to give you the most authentic information, what kind of work is there, right? And don't just rely on one. And it's the day of social media. आप Facebook पे, Google पे, या LinkedIn पे आप जाओ, Facebook पे आप जाओ, Twitter पे, you can get in touch with anyone, so that would be very easy to connect. हाँ, थोड़ा रिसर्च करना पड़ेगा, that's very, very important. And I'll tell you, the circle is same. So maybe if Juzair has to look for intern who is working in a particular company, he doesn't have to search 5 years, 10 years down the lane. उसको मेरे जमाने तक आने की जरूरत नहीं है, या उसको शशांक के जमाने तक भी जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, though we are not that old कि जमाना बोले, but okay, he doesn't have to scroll back to 5 years, 10 years back. He just have to scroll back to 2 years, क्योंकि इसके 2 साल सीनियर जो होंगे, उन्हीं में से कोई ना कोई होगा. And I'll tell you, the world is so small, आपको कोई ना कोई common connect वहां पर मिल जाएगा, that you will get there. So this is very, very important. So while you decide company or a firm, you have to be very clear 5 years down the lane, where do you want to see? But okay, if you are confused, if you're confused that you don't know 5 years down the lane where you would want to be, whether in a company or a firm, then I think company should be a better option, right? What do you say, Juzair and Shashank? What do you see? That if I'm confused, that I don't know where I will be 5 years down the lane, then probably company can be one of the option where you can look for. If not listed, maybe you can look for a unlisted company. What's your take, Juzair and Shashank? Yeah.
Yes, sir. So from a see, sir, actually my experience is very good actually. As Shashank sir said that the trainee had to do some Xerox related work. Fortunately, I haven't done such work because my boss says me clearly that if you have to do clerical job, then you're not part of my team. So it depends on the company also. So, sir, according to me, sir, the work culture, the organization in which you work, I have learned a lot in that. So for me, corporate is the best option which I could recommend to other students, because I've learned a lot. I have been dealing with some people which I was not so confident that I could deal with them, but eventually, as the time passes by, I've learned a lot. So maybe I just suggest that corporate is the best option. Maybe.
And also, it's not just company or a firm which you should decide. There are so many options. You can work in a mutual fund company. So a lot of my friends, they are in the mutual fund industry. They are company secretaries there. They're working there. They're compliance officers there, and they need interns there. So a lot of time we don't explore that area. You can also get experience in terms of your other than compliance officer, or maybe you can say uh, competition law, that's another area. Insolvency law, that's another area. GST is now another area where company secretaries can work. So you should also look for these areas as well when you go for your internship, right, Shashank?
Anand,
Yeah.
Anand, I feel that money is also important sometimes. So if and the companies they pay a good amount as compared to what a practicing company secretary can pay. So it also depends on what is the financial position of a particular person. Though I would again definitely agree that you learn more if you are with a practicing company secretary, because he might have a lot of companies with him, but that is not always the case. Maybe he's a new company secretary and he has just 2 or 3 clients. So again, it depends. Finally I feel कि it is on the person to decide कि मुझे finally कहाँ जाना है. कि शशांक तो बोलेगा कि maybe you can go for a company or you can go for a practicing company secretary, but स्वाद अनुसार मैं अपने हिसाब से बोल सकता हूँ. बट स्वाद अनुसार नमक डालो. वैसे तो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द पर्सन कि उसको क्या करना है. आई ऑल्सो वांट टू मेंशन, सिंस यू रेज दिस, नाउ आई कैन टेक अ कंप्लीट 6 hour session when it comes to training. A lot of people already know about it, but I want to add a few points. I had gone to an interview when I was looking for internship, and there was this firm. They were only doing annual filing थ्रू आउट द ईयर, ओनली एनुअल फाइलिंग. तो एनुअल फाइलिंग वही हो गया कि उस टाइम पे फॉर्म 23 एसीए था और फॉर्म 20 बी था एनुअल रिटर्न के लिए. तो सिर्फ उतना ही वो लोग करते थे, एक्सबीआरएल ही करते थे. अब ये मुझे कैसे पता चला? मैं इंटरव्यू देके जब बाहर आया, तो अगर कोई बाहर था और कुछ मतलब मैं थोड़ी देर बाहर रुका, अगर कोई वॉशरूम जा रहा है तो मैंने उसको पूछ लिया कि भाई यहाँ पे एग्जैक्टली क्या सीखने मिल रहा है हम लोगों को. सो देन दे टोल्ड अस कि हम लोग पूरा एनुअल फाइलिंग ही कर रहे हैं. मतलब मई का अगर मंथ था तो वो लोग जो सितंबर में खत्म करना था एनुअल फाइलिंग, वो पिछले साल का इस मई में कर रहे थे. इवन आफ्टर द फाइनेंशियल ईयर, पर्टिकुलर फाइनेंशियल ईयर भी खत्म हो गया था, दूसरा फाइनेंशियल ईयर खत्म हो गया था. एक और फॉर्म में गया. So the company secretary had listed company. He mentioned, I have 5-6 listed companies. I have cream work. I will give you cream work. But then I applied the same thing. मैं बाहर खड़ा रहा, कोई ट्रेनी बाहर आया. I again asked, तो they said, सर बात करते रहते हैं कि क्रीम वर्क है, but देते किसको है? So maybe only one trainee he'll select. उस 5-6 लोगों में से एक ट्रेनी को वो देंगे. So it also depends कि सामने वाला बात क्या कर रहा है. So I feel if you ask the other trainees, तो वहाँ के ट्रेनीज, बिकॉज काफी बार अपना शायद वहां तक कांटेक्ट ना हो, तो इस तरह से, क्योंकि मेरे हिसाब से ट्रेनी को झूठ नहीं बोलता है. अगर उस पर कुछ वो सह रहा है तो वो डेफिनेटली पूरी भड़ास निकाल देगा. ही रियली वांट समवन टू लिसन. तो मुझे ये लगता है. एक और बात है, स्पेशली बहुत ट्रेनीज को इस पर्टिकुलर लॉकडाउन में बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है अपने ट्रेनर्स से. मतलब नाउ तो आई एम गेटिंग फ्रीक्वेंट कॉल्स. इनफैक्ट मैंने लोगों के लिए मेल भी ड्राफ्ट कर दिया रात को 2 बजे कि वो कैसे अपने ट्रेनर को मतलब लिखेंगे. सो कंटिन्यूसली लॉकडाउन है, उनकी कोई गलती नहीं है. नाउ आई डोंट नो कि हम लोग किसको अप्रोच कर सकते हैं, बट दे आर हैविंग ट्रेमेंडस प्रॉब्लम्स. आई फील कि कुछ दिन तक साथ में काम करके यू शुड मेक श्योर कि मैं इनके साथ एग्रीमेंट साइन कर सकता हूँ कि नहीं. नो, इट जरूरी नहीं है कि सामने वाला ही ऐसा है. अपना ही नेचर शायद थोड़ा ऐसा हो कि भाई हमारा उनके साथ तालमेल नहीं बैठेगा, दाल नहीं गलेगी. तो वी गेट दैट टाइम. यू ऑल्सो नो द पर्सन कि हाँ सर ने मीटे उस दिन तो बोला था कि लिस्टेड कंपनी है, बट आप ज्वाइन करते हो उसके बाद 15 दिन 1 महीने में पता चलता है कि एक्चुअली में है कि नहीं. और क्योंकि आप ट्रेनिंग से बात करोगे और साथ में खाना खाओगे, ऑफिस से जब निकलोगे साथ में निकलोगे, तो बहुत सारी बातें अपने आप बिना पूछे भी निकलती है. बहुत सारी बातें तो वहां से पता चल जाता है कि सर बोल क्या रहे थे और हो क्या रहे. सो आई फील दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one more thing, whenever you get confused in this, there is another exercise which you can do is आप है ना एक नोट डाउन करो. जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना, मेक अ बैलेंस शीट, मेक अ बैलेंस शीट दैट what are the benefits and what are the drawbacks. If I join this firm, what are the benefits? These are the things I'm going to learn, and these are the things I'm going to miss. Same way, you see, if I join this particular company, these are the benefits I'm going to get, and these are the misses which these are the things which I'm going to miss out when I join a company. एंड ये लिस्ट आप कैसे प्रिपेयर करोगे? द मोर यू इंटरैक्ट विद द पीपल, तो आपको पता, लाइक जुजैर ने अपने लिस्टेड कंपनी का एक्सपीरियंस बताया, लाइक शशांक इज गोइंग टू शेयर हिज एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ अ फर्म, देन यू कैन आल्सो इंटरैक्ट विद योर सीनियर्स, विद योर फ्रेंड्स दोस हु आर ऑलरेडी वर्किंग. सो वहां से आपको एक काफी क्लियर कट आइडिया लग जाता है दैट वेयर, सो एक बार वो आपका बैलेंस शीट रेडी हो गया ना, तो आपको अपने आप पता चल जाएगा किधर शिफ्ट करना है, वेयर यू सी मोस्ट ऑफ द बेनिफिट्स देयर. सो अकॉर्डिंगली दिस एक्सरसाइज रियली हेल्प्स यू टू डिसाइड between a firm or a company. So another question, moving ahead with another question that lot of students they are asking in the current area, that how to prepare for interview during this lockdown. How to prepare for the interview during this current lockdown, because इतने ज़्यादा tools available नहीं हो रहे उनको and interact करने के लिए, plus companies से उनका interaction नहीं हो पा रहा, a lot of companies are not hiring. So what are the things which they can prepare for interview when during this lockdown time? So if you can share regarding this, Juzair. So
Sure, sir. So during these lockdown times, all the interviewers have been interacting with the trainees from a online app, like through a video conferencing tool. So what happens is that even I have faced, like when we have video call meetings, is that people don't realize that the background में what is happening in, मतलब बहुत background noise आता है. So whenever you're going for an interview, make sure when you sit, the background जो पीछे का है, that is clear, which is not something which is creating disturbance in the eye of the interviewer. Secondly, make sure that whenever you go, like if you're going for a normal interview, you'll definitely wear a proper white shirt or tie, black shoes and all everything. But even if it is a online interview, make sure you wear such things, because that will create an impression on the mind of the interviewer. Secondly, make sure that whenever you are interacting on the, like you see the camera. Like if you're fidgeting with something, for example your mobile, or you're fidgeting with your CV or something, that gives a negative impression on the mind of the, because that the other person thinks that this person is not that confident, maybe he's not looking at the camera screen. Secondly, if you want to prepare for an interview, make sure that you know the basic sections, because when I was a trainee, I had given my first interview in 2017. At that time, they had asked me about the comparison of 2013 law, Companies Act 2013 law, and the 1956. So that was a surprise shocker to me that this question will be asked in 2017. So make sure you know the basic provisions such as board meetings, the RPT sections, or like 184 compliances, 186 compliances, because whether listed, unlisted, small or big company, these compliances will be applicable to any company. So make sure you know the basic sections and be confident. For example, if you don't know any question, be honest that yes sir, I don't know. Maybe I will read that law again and I will learn it. So be honest, whatever you say, don't bluff in an interview. And I will hope that you all get a job in a good company.
it's very important that you don't bluff in an interview, because what happens a lot of time when we draft a CV, we try to put in so many things in that CV, and this works negative. So we feel that this is going to be good, but what happens is when we put a lot of things in our CV, the expectation of the interviewer rises. So like I still remember when I was working with this company at Gurgaon and we had to hire an intern. So two CVs we had shortlisted, and one of the CV that was shortlisted because the student looked very inquisitive. The article said that, I've searched the MCA website, I've downloaded these forms. So the entire approach, the positive framework that was there, so I shortlisted that particular student. And the other student had mentioned in her CV that I have worked with the liquidator. Now, when you write this, I've worked with a liquidator. So when in the interview, I asked her, what are the types of liquidation? What are types of winding up which is there in the company? So I started asking questions on winding up. Now, what happened? She was not able to answer those questions. And I asked that, then what was actual work with your liquidator? She said, मेरे मामा जी वो liquidator थे और मैंने उनके साथ काम किया था. Now, this immediately, like from my mind, the interview was finished. Why? Because what happens when these kind of things happen, that really over bluffing really goes negative for you. And like how Jazair mentioned, that if a particular thing you don't know, be firm and be polite, and and be generous, that okay sir, I am not very sure about it, or maybe the provision is not this or that or whatever. If you don't know, be honest and say that yes sir, maybe I'll check and I'll get back to that. So with having said that regarding the CV, so Shashank, you would like to
One,
add something? Yeah,
yes,
sure,
yes. I
sure,
would like to add something.
sure.
So when I joined my first trainer, so just a lady had joined. My friend had joined 10 days before me, and she had mentioned in the CV that she can play sitar and she's a classical dancer. And sir, but anyway, sir asked her questions on company law, and she was selected. But after that, she was so worried कि यार मैंने लिख तो दिया है, and I don't know such things. So she had actually bluffed. So we should not do that. If you are really into public speaking, only then you should mention about public speaking. If you are into making videos, making webinars, then only you should mention. वरना क्या होगा, अगर उन्होंने आपको सपोज बैठा दिया या अगर किसी लेक्चर में लेके चले गए कि नाउ माय सर्टेन पर्सन विल स्पीक, तो उस टाइम पे बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो जाने वाला है.
Absolutely, absolutely. And another thing to prepare for your interview, I think the best part about, if you see the positive side about Corona, though there is no positive side of Corona, but again, if you see one good thing which has happened, that a lot of webinars are happening on a day-to-day basis. Like our institute is conducting webinar on
So
vibrant
many.
topics, and there are so many crash courses which are happening from the institute side, and not just ICAI, but also ICSI, ICAI, ICSI, CW Institute, a lot of law firms, they are doing a lot of these webinars. These webinars are also accessible offline. So when you go through these webinars, you will get lot of practical issues. So what will happen when you will go for your interview, and if let's say the examiner wants to test you on a practical situation, so you'll be far more confident because you have seen a lot of practical cases. So these webinars are again a good source of information where you can pick up. And like we mentioned in our previous session also, that if you have exposure to the practical things like the minutes, the draft red herring prospectus, the public announcements, so if you have experience of that, reading all those things, that is again going to be helpful, and that is again going to give you a lot of confidence. So that is again really going to help you and give you a lot of confidence when it
Sure.
comes to. We request all the participants to please mute so that the flow goes uninterrupted, right? So these webinars are again good source of information where you can get knowledge. So that is another thing which you can prepare for your interview. Also, the kind of time you have got now, this type of time you're never going to get ever in your life, at least not in foreseeable future, because here you don't have the pressure of your college or classes, and if you have cleared your professionals, you don't have a pressure for exam. Even if you are giving exam, you have a pressure. I mean, the pressure gets released after a month because exams are, you know, twice it has got delayed. So you have time to prepare for a lot of things. So preparation time, you should do it, because you never know when a particular interview gets scheduled, and at that point of time you're like, अरे अभी section 140 पढ़ना है, अभी 150 पढ़ना है, directors के क्या provisions है. So at that point of time your panic button gets pressed. So it's like opportunity is going to knock the door, but you have to be prepared for that. And the worst part would be then if the opportunity comes and at that point of time you are unprepared. So this is very important. During this lockdown, you should really take care of. And
I also feel that if you're going for an interview, we should know about the company also. So once I was going for an interview, and I knew that I had read it somewhere that you should know about the company. So उनकी कितनी factories है, कितनी जगह उनकी offices है. So when I went there, so दो उन्होंने पूछा भी नहीं था शायद, तो मैंने पहले ही बोल दिया I know that you have this and that. So the interviewer was so impressed कि इसको इतना सब पता है, he has done his homework well. So I really wanted to impress them कि हाँ भाई, I was a student at that time, so I was really कि मुझे यहाँ पे ही करना है, listed company है. So I had नहीं, हाँ, yes, listed company थी. So I had been there and they were like so happy कि इसको सब पता है अपने company के बारे में, and they did not even ask me more questions. They were like ठीक है, ये मतलब he has that zeal कि मेरे को सीखना है कुछ.
And absolutely, this gives a very good connect. So, like Jusair, you would know when right before lockdown, one of the student had come for the interview, and guys, it was very shocked that this person had prepared a lot of provisions and all. And when he went to the interview, he has asked, who's the founder of the company, like a very basic thing. When the company was incorporated, who is the managing director of the company? So if you know about the company, you get a very good connect. So a lot of psychological things happen. जैसे आपके बारे में अगर किसी को पता है, ठीक है, और वो आपके पास आता है और आपसे बात करता है, तो आप इजीली कैसे कनेक्ट फील करते हो. सेम गोज विद द कंपनी ऑल्सो, दैट व्हेन यू नो अबाउट द कंपनी at that point of time, like if it's a manufacturing company, you should know what kind of products they are in, and where are their factories, what are the works, what are the regulations which are applicable on them. So this really helps you when you go to the interview. CV thing, another thing regarding CV, it's a very innovative thing. Not many people have tried, but you can also prepare your video CV. You can also prepare your video CV. It's the era of digital. आप जैसे यहाँ सामने बैठे हो, इस तरह से बैठ के एक अपना video CV आप record कर सकते हो. And you can always mention that, hi, I am so and so. I have cleared my CS professional. I'm looking forward for this internship. Dress up properly. Keep a proper background, formal background, wear formal. Make that. And ये ऐसा नहीं कि video आपका एक बार में record होगा. You'll take time. Prepare that video. And when you send your CV to the company, upload that video on YouTube and share that link that also I am sharing my video CV. So this way what happens, interviewer आपको interview के लिए बुलाए चाहे ना बुलाए, आप interviewer के पास पहुंच गए and he has seen your overall personality कि आप किस तरह से बात करते हो. A lot of things depend when you go for your internship. A lot of things depends on the kind of personality you are. And Juzair would agree, corporates में ये सब चीजें बहुत ध्यान से देखते हैं. What, whether your shoes are polished or not. Like I was shocked to see that whether the shoes are polished or not. Also, dressing up well is again very important, because again that reminds me of one of the instance. Initially I had worked with a Japanese company, and they are very particular on the work ethics, the kind of work, the way you wear, the way you talk. So this guy had come for an interview. He was a chartered accountant. He came for the interview wearing a black shirt. So Iwase-san, he entered. Iwase-san was the director there. So he entered, he saw him, he shut the door, he came out and he said that, ask him the interview is over. I was like, sir, you haven't even spoken to him. Like, he's wearing a black shirt. That's not professional. I don't want any person who is not professional in the company. So you see, there are people who look for these points also. So that's another area where you can ponder upon. Then just say another thing, that what are the different areas where you can focus during your internship, like while you are doing your internship, so that you can get the maximum practical knowledge and the maximum takeaway you can get from your internship, what you can do so that you can get the best out of your internship, irrespective whether you are in a firm or you're in a company, what kind of qualities you look. So if you can
Sure.
just share knowledge on that.
Okay, so sir, this is my personal experience actually. I have seen many people, whenever they go for a training, they feel that we want to file ROC forms, we want to do MCA compliances. Then, so actually, the scope of their mindset is very narrow. So while you go for a training, ensure that you guys not only learn the compliances part, but you also learn management skills. Because what happens is that, for example, your boss says to you that we have to do a buyback or we have to do a right issue. You know the law, you know everything, you know which form you have to file. But if you don't know how to manage it and how to deliver it as per the expectation, then you will lack. So the most important part is to manage your work properly. Again, we have to ensure that while you're working, we don't spend much time in various other works like which is not required, so that there's a proper work-life balance also. Because what happens, I've seen in with many colleagues that they sit in office till 12. So that is also not the case which we have to do with our career. Secondly, I feel trainees should keep up themselves updated, because the amount of amendments which are coming up these days, we have to keep ourselves updated. I know there is a lot of work pressure which we have to cope up, but reading amendments is very important. We have to, like, there are many first notes. I remember Anand sir had told me once that you need to read the first notes of KPMG. So still I read those first notes which are available on the website of the KPMG. It gives me a brief background that why the amendment came. And secondly, what trainees should do is that, like for example, there are 4 trainees in a company. One is doing Indian company compliances, Indian subsidiary compliances, which are unlisted, and another is listed compliances. So you guys can go for a like chai pe charcha or any sort of something and you can discuss what work she is handling or he is handling, and how, what practical difficulties do they face while handling that assignment. So what happens is that you not only learn Indian subsidiaries, but you learn listed also. So what was my approach during my training days? I used to ask the same question to my colleagues who were trainees. Then Saturday, Sunday, which we have a weekend, I used to do research on that. And then again, I had some questions. Then again, I used to ask it to my seniors. So that's how you will build your knowledge, and that will definitely benefit you when you go for an interview as an employee in some different organization.
Absolutely. And also, you should have that inquisitiveness. Am I audible? I think my mic was off.
You
Okay. No,
are,
it's fine.
you are.
You
Okay.
are, you
So
are.
your inquisitiveness is really going to be very, very important. Like when you go to boss and whatever work you have been given, if you do that work properly, that builds a confidence amongst the trainer also to assign you the work again. But if you do some careless mistake in that, so it's very important that when you go for your internship at that point of time, you do your work very, very religiously and very delicately. You handle the entire work instead of being casual. So, Shashank, would you like to share some ideas on it, your views on it?
Yes, yes. So I feel that we should now move more forward than companies that also, because I do understand that companies that is a very big cake. But then हम लोग कितने सारे members हैं? So we are like now more than 60,000 members, 65,000 plus members, and plus we have 3 lakh students, approx 3 lakh students. अगर हम लोग सब एक दिन company secretaries बन जाते हैं, जो students हैं वो भी बन जाते हैं, तो हर एक के भाग में वो केक कितना आएगा? So we have to now see, जैसे things you mentioned कि your friends are into mutual fund and so many companies are into taxation also, SME also, so even company secretaries can go into taxation. So अगर ऐसी कोई firm है जहाँ पे taxation का काम ज्यादा देखते हैं, GST देखते हैं, या फिर income tax का भी related अगर कुछ देखते हैं, तो वहां पे हम जा सकते हैं. So now I feel we also have to move, हम लोगों को ज्यादा उन फर्म्स में जाने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए जहाँ पे दूसरा काम भी है अपार्ट फ्रॉम कंपनीज है, बिकॉज ऑलरेडी अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर प्रैक्टिसिंग कंपनीज है. वन मोर थिंग विच आई वुड लाइक टू एड इज अबाउट द कॉन्टैक्ट्स. सो इफ आई एम इन अ फर्म और मेरे सर की अगर 50 कंपनीज है, आई शुड मेक श्योर कि मैं उन लोगों के साथ कॉन्टेक्ट भी बनाऊं. सो वट एवर इन एडिशन टू वॉट जुजर मेंशन, आई वुड से कॉन्टेक्ट भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. मेरे कॉन्टेक्ट, क्योंकि मैं रेगुलरली कांटेक्ट करूंगा कंपनीज को, मे बी इस काम के लिए उस काम के लिए, तो वहां पे अगर कोई ट्रेनीज है तो वहां के कंपनी सेक्रेटरीज है तो, बिकॉज आई अंडरस्टैंड कि हमारा फील्ड, क्योंकि वी आर अ वेरी स्मॉल वर्ल्ड, मतलब आई फील कंपनीज है, कंपनी सेक्रेटरीज आर अ वन इंस्टीट्यूट. तो अगर हम लोग हाथ से हाथ बढ़ा के, मतलब कॉन्टेक्ट्स के थ्रू जाएंगे, तो आगे जाके बहुत हेल्प होने वाला है. सेम गोज फॉर समवन हु इज इन अ कंपनी, तो उनके अगर एक दो कंपनी सेक्रेटरीज का फॉर्म है, तो वहां पे सिर्फ सर के साथ ही नहीं, उनकी ट्रेनीज के साथ भी अगर हमारा कॉन्टेक्ट बहुत अच्छा है, so it is really going to help you in the future, because contacts have really helped me in life, and
Absolutely.
all these contacts were made in company secretaries.
Absolutely. And when you are in a firm, I feel at that point of time, you should not just focus on कि मेरे को सिर्फ company law का काम सीखना है. Like it's
Yes,
very correct. You should
yes,
try to look for some other work also. I remember last year April with one of the company's promoter, I was having a conversation, and basically the promoter called, वो मेरा one INC 22A file नहीं हो रहा है. I need a company secretary. कोई CS है तो मेरे को बता दो. And it's a very conversation, the entire conversation is getting recorded, so I can say it on record. He literally mentioned, CS क्या काम करेगा, हमारे यहाँ बहुत ज्यादा काम नहीं होता. CS क्या काम करेगा, वो खाली कंप्लायंस ही तो करेगा, वो खाली फॉर्म ही तो साइन करेगा, उसके लिए मैं उसको इतना पैसा क्यों दूं. So you see, this is the kind of image you will have to penetrate, you'll have to pierce when you go for your interview. So जब आप जॉब के लिए वहां पे जाते हो, अपने इंटर्नशिप के लिए जब आप वहां पे जा रहे हो, at that point of time you should not just focus on the company law, because company law is one area of the company secretary. You have securities law, now taxation also, so you also study the equivalent amount of company law. आप भी उतने टैक्स पढ़ते हो जितना टैक्स एक चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट पढ़ रहा है. मे बी दे स्टडी इट इन वे टू मच डिटेल, बट आपने भी वही टैक्स पढ़ा है. सो इफ यू वांट टू प्रैक्टिस little more, then in your articleship if you try to get exposure regarding taxation work also, it is going to be very helpful. Especially this can happen if you're in a company or if you're in a mega firm where you get exposure from the different varieties. But don't refrain yourself only to the company law, because gradually then you will realize the company law itself is a huge area of practice. But इनिशियल लेवल से आप स्पेशलाइजेशन नहीं कर सकते, इनिशियल लेवल से आप स्पेशलाइजेशन नहीं कर सकते. लाइक शाहरुख खान ने सीरियल से शुरू किया, gradually धीरे धीरे जाके today he can say that okay, I'll just make a movie in a year, right? But at the beginning of the career, if you would have said no, I will only work with the big banner, वो काम नहीं होता. So that's how it goes to initials में आपको जितना काम, it's not that you have to learn everything in detail, you have to be expert of everything. You can be expert of few, but you should have broad idea. आपको ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि कोई टैक्स का क्वेश्चन आ गया तो you are blank. Like I remember in the month of Feb, I had gone to one of the company for उनका basically company incorporation करना था. So it was a US based company who had to set up a wholly owned subsidiary in India. When I went there, so they said that you have to draft the memorandum and articles of association for the company. When I went there, it was a 3 hour 45-minute meeting, 15 minutes only about company law, 3.5 hour he just spoke about टैक्स कैसे बचेगा, ये स्ट्रक्चरिंग कैसे करूँ, एलएलपी बनाओ तो क्या होगा, कंपनी बनाओ तो क्या होगा, अच्छा इसको अगर मैं सिंगापुर के थ्रू रूट करूँ तो क्या फायदा होगा. एंड देन एंड क्लाइंट्स आर demanding these kind of things. So articleship में अगर आप ये सब चीजों को भी ध्यान दोगे and you are going to learn, this is going to be really helpful and this is going to maximize your learning. So don't confine yourself only, because as I said, company secretary is not about just form filing. Form filing can be done again by the intern. So you have to go beyond and you have to interact with the other people also. So let's say if you have a friend who is in a mutual fund industry, so you can again have an interaction with your that friend who can help you that okay, म्यूचुअल फंड इंडस्ट्री में ये चीजें हैं. सो यू हैव अ आइडिया अबाउट ओके म्यूचुअल फंड इंडस्ट्री के अंदर भी ऐसा कुछ होता है. सो नेक्स्ट टाइम इफ यू गेट अ वर्क फॉर म्यूचुअल फंड, so at least you are not blank, you have at least broad idea. So exposure is very very important, which you yourself will have to take it. Yeah, Juzair and Shashank.
So
Yeah, I
one more
wanted
point
to. Okay, let him speak.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So one more point I would like to add is that many companies are now focusing on governance, because due to the various scams happening nowadays, so the companies are focusing more on governance. And I feel that the governance role is played by a CS in all the companies, because uh, I I personally have experienced that we are the initiators. Like we push all the departments in an organization that yes, you have to do this work, you have to do it in this manner because the law says it. So it is not that कि हाँ हमारा सिर्फ काम फॉर्म फाइलिंग है, but we are the one who can push the whole organization, and the whole organization can work in our own guidance. So and secondly, sir, one more point which I like to highlight is that the trainees nowadays, I feel they shouldn't be in their comfort zone, because see, this is the first year of their career, and if they start feeling that yeah, now we are a trainee, now we don't have to, we after employment will take things seriously, we'll take the accountability or we'll take the responsibility, so that will hamper their growth. Because if you're a trainee and you take responsibilities as an employee, the employer will think that this guy is trustworthy, let's absorb him, and that can give you a good opportunity then. So that is very important, I feel, so which everyone should inculcate in them.
Absolutely. Yeah, Shashank, you were also
Yeah, so you have already mentioned, but once I was supposed to go for a hosting, so it was outside Mumbai, and I went there for hosting, and in fact, it was outside Maharashtra, and the official liquidator was the speaker for that day. And what he mentioned is कि एक दिन अगर company secretary, now I don't feel good to say this, but एक दिन अगर company secretary, and he himself is doing CS, he was doing CS, that's what he said, कि एक दिन अगर CS नहीं आता है ना ऑफिस में, हमको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, लेकिन एक दिन चार्टेड अकाउंटेंट नहीं आता है ना, तो पूरा यहाँ वहाँ हो जाता है. Now I'm not comparing, I don't like to compare ourselves with them, we are two different institutes, two different areas of work, but yes, तो मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि लोग सिर्फ कंपनीज एक्ट तक ही ना रहे, दे शुड गो आउट. सो एटलीस्ट आज हम लोगों को ये पता चल रहा है कि रेगुलेटर अपने बारे में क्या सोचते हैं. तो अगर लिक्विडेटर की ऑफिस से कोई ये कह रहा है कि एक दिन अगर सीएस नहीं आता है तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, सो वी हैव टू नाउ टेक सम स्टेप्स.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's there for the maximum learning. And we have this another query regarding the 3rd August criteria for shifting the old training regime to the new training regime. So Shashank, if you can guide the students regarding the training structure for the old or new, because I'm very sure a lot of students are confused regarding what to do, whether to be in the old structure or to shift into the new structure, because the time duration is again going to be a very crucial part in that decision. So if you can just share regarding that.
So first of all I want to mention is कि जरूरी नहीं है कि मेरा ट्रेनिंग आज से स्टार्ट हो रहा है तो आज से मुझे ओल्ड ट्रेनिंग स्ट्रक्चर एप्लीकेबल होगा. तो सपोज इफ आई एम अ फाइनल पास स्टूडेंट, मैंने आज ट्रेनिंग ज्वाइन कर ली, लेकिन अगर मैंने 3 अगस्त तक 3 अगस्त 2020 तक अगर एग्रीमेंट में मैं नहीं आ गया हूँ, मैंने इंस्टीट्यूट को वो एग्रीमेंट या जो भी है, जो भी लेटर था, ऑफर लेटर था, वो नहीं भेज दिया है, अगर वो 4th हो गया तो उस दिन से न्यू ट्रेनिंग स्ट्रक्चर एप्लीकेबल होगा. एंड अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल आई गेस दे हैव नॉट रेड अबाउट इट. 24 months प्रैक्टिकल ट्रेनिंग नहीं है. So there is 1 month of EDP, Executive Development Program, which is 15 days you have to go to the institute and learn directly face to face, and 15 days it is online. Then it is 21 months practical training. So it is not 24 months practical training, it is 21 months practical training. And then again a minimum of, so अभी उन लोगों ने MSOP हटा दिया है, so Management Skills Orientation Program won't be there. I guess थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा उसको शिफ्ट होने में, लेकिन जो जो लोग अब अगस्त या उसके बाद पास होंगे उन सबको नया ट्रेनिंग स्ट्रक्चर है वो एप्लीकेबल होगा, और उसमें CLDP एप्लीकेबल होगा. सो EDP प्रैक्टिकल ट्रेनिंग एंड CLDP इज कॉर्पोरेट लीडरशिप डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम, which is for a minimum of 30 days and it is going to be for a maximum days of 60 days. And I feel that it is going to be next level. So a lot of students were, वो लोग बहुत भाग रहे थे कि 1 साल का ट्रेनिंग है, अगर 3 अगस्त तक नहीं मिला तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा. पर्सनली नाउ आई डू अंडरस्टैंड, अगर मैं स्टूडेंट होता तो मैं भी शायद 1 साल के लिए, शायद ही नहीं, इनफैक्ट मैं भागता 1 साल के लिए ट्रेनिंग मिल जाए तो, ताकि मेरा हो जाएगा. बट आई फील दैट इट इज गोइंग टू बी नेक्स्ट लेवल फ्रॉम द इंस्टीट्यूट. And CLDP will only be conducted if we are in Mumbai, so only CCGRT. So no chapters or the regional office.
Okay. So there is another query which is there, that is a government company a good place for CS trainee? Government company, working in a government company. So this one query which is there in the chat section, and yes, government company is a good place to work. I have personally, I have some couple of friends who have actually done their internship in PSUs. That's actually good, but again, that depends on the profile where you are getting placed. So the profile needs to be very, very important. And as I said during your interview, keep it clear, black and white, what is going to be your work. If you can ask that, then there is going to be no problem. So please be very careful when you decide your profile when you go there. And then there is another query, which is that, sir, I have joined in a firm. I also want to work with a company. So is it possible I take transfer after a year, because the duration of my training is 2 years?
Yes, that I feel, yes, that can be taken, but then you have to be very cautious, because I don't know if they are going to bring the new rules, but now you can take only 2 transfers. So अगर कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो गया किसी भी एक ट्रेनिंग में, अगर प्रॉब्लम हो गया और अगर वापस ट्रांसफर लेना पड़ा, तो इट्स गोइंग टू बी अ मेजर प्रॉब्लम फॉर यू.
Okay, so then there is another question.
And again, now you also have to see कि 1 साल ट्रेनिंग होने के बाद आपको वो कंपनी ले भी रही है कि नहीं. सो जब मैं पहली ट्रेनिंग ज्वाइन कर रहा हूँ तभी मुझे पता होना चाहिए कि दूसरी, आई फील कि दूसरी कंपनी भी लेगी कि नहीं, बिकॉज आई हैव सीन अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु वांटेड टू डू दिस, और 1 साल उन्होंने, सपोज 1 साल की ट्रेनिंग एप्लीकेबल थी तो उन्होंने 6 महीना कहीं कर लिया, और जब 6 महीने के लिए वो दूसरी कंपनी में गए तो उन्होंने कहा नहीं, यू हैव टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम फर्स्ट. तो ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं होना चाहिए. तो पूरा 1 साल आप करोगे तो हम आपको ट्रेनिंग, सिलेक्ट हो गए, सारे आंसर्स सही दे दिए, लेकिन देवर प्रेसिंग कि अगर 1 साल करोगे तो हम आपको ले सकते हैं, वरना हम आपको नहीं ले सकते. सो यू हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ.
Okay, so this is there. So Jayashree, you can maybe look for the company or a firm where you can get the opportunity and you can join there. Then there is another, is online internship possible due to COVID? Is there, so basically, Juzair, maybe you can answer this. So, is online internship possible due to COVID? Juzair, I think
User mic.
you're, you're mute.
Sure. Sorry. So recently we had a new joinee in our organization. So yes, the lockdown was
Yeah.
implemented, but then too we provided her everything like a laptop and all, and she has started her training in our team, and she is like we are interacting with her. We are making her learn what companies do we have, what compliances are applicable. So yes, it is possible, and it is not that if the lockdown is there you can't learn. Yes, you can go join an internship.
Okay. Okay. And then there is another query that can we start our internship before EDP? Shashank, maybe you can. I
I feel
personally,
yes, you can.
yes,
Yeah,
you
I
can,
feel it
because a
can.
lot of students in we get in our training program, because Ashank and I, we also go for a lot of training programs there. So there we find a lot of students who come for their EDP training and they have already completed their articleship and also probably you can do. But again, Omkar, you can have a word with the institute. Maybe you can ask on the Smash portal. Maybe you can raise a ticket and get a exact answer. But otherwise, there doesn't seem to be a problem with that. And
And we also have to make sure that now the institute has gone online. Everything is online. So whatever earlier जो चल जाता था कि suppose अगर मुझे EDP शायद प्रोफेशनल से पहले करना है और उसके बाद मैं प्रोफेशनल एग्जाम दूंगा तो चल जाएगा, तो अब हम लोग नहीं कह सकते बिकॉज एवरीथिंग इज ऑनलाइन। अगर कुछ है तो आप जैसे ही एग्जाम का फॉर्म भरने जाओगे और अगर ईडीपी उससे पहले करना था, अगर करना था तो पता चला कि आप फॉर्म नहीं भर पा रहे हो बिकॉज एवरीथिंग इज ऑनलाइन। अर्लियर तो 3 लाख 4 लाख 4.5 लाख स्टूडेंट्स को सब पे ध्यान देना मुश्किल था, बट नाउ एवरीथिंग इज ऑनलाइन, सो यू हैव टू मेक श्योर that whatever the rules the institute makes, you are complying with it.
so definitely you should be cautious for that. Otherwise, what happened? It becomes a little difficult because later on it becomes very difficult. और membership के time पे बहुत ज़्यादा ऐसा problem आता है because I had one of the student, he did his intern, कुछ तो ऐसा mistake हुआ था ना, उसका article जो basically membership number था that was delayed by 4 months.
Oh,
यही सब पेपर वर्किंग करने के अंदर दिस इज मेंबरशिप नंबर वाज डिलीड बाय 4 months and he had got a offer letter from a listed company but they wanted his membership number because what happens in
yes.
case of a chartered accountant, even if you don't have your membership number you get absorbed, but for company secretaries they push on the membership number. So अगर आपके पास membership number नहीं है then it becomes problem. So maybe you can get in touch with the institute and go ahead, like caveat emptor institute ने caveat emptor लगा दिया है, so not let the
और
buyer but let the student be aware. So be careful in that part, so we don't want you to get into that kind of a problem.
yes,
Then
because I feel you and I we both have seen कि बहुत लोगों का सिर्फ अभी एमएसओपी बाकी है, उसके पहले वो लोग एकेडमिक प्रोग्राम खत्म करने आते हैं अपना। और
right,
ये जो है जो अब चल रहा था कि ट्रेनिंग हो गई, मैं सीएस क्लियर हो गया, अब तो मैं कंपनी सेक्रेटरी हूँ, तो जो ये पहले चल रहा था या जो अब तक चल रहा था ये अब आगे नहीं चलने वाला है जब से इंस्टीट्यूट ऑनलाइन चली गई।
absolutely. Then there is another, what are the other skills that our trainer can expect from us? So soft skills. So
सॉफ्ट स्किल्स।
so soft skills is like communication.
So
Unfortunately we say that हमारी राष्ट्रीय भाषा हिंदी है, but again
हाँ।
our official communication mode is English. So there is one thing which is very very important, you need to know English. And when I say English, lot of students take it वो Netflix वाला accent लेके आना है. You don't have to get that, but yes, you have to practice in English. And it's not that everyone is from convent school or English is perfect for everyone. So we have our mother tongue is not English. So we have to get grip on that. So soft skill communication के लिए English is very important, because you must have noticed one thing that when you have to speak a particular thing in Hindi, you can speak it very nicely. There is no problem. Without stammer, you speak. But the same thing, if you have to explain it in English, at that point of time, you face little problem. So you really need to get in touch, flow with the language. So this soft skill is really very important, because if you're in a firm or you're in a company, as a trainee, you may have to interact with a lot of people. And at that point of time, if you're not able to communicate well, then it becomes little problematic. So this is there. Then another query. So if Shashank and Joseph, if you guys agree, we
yeah,
can we extend it, or because we are already short of time, like the session was
I do not
scheduled
have
by
I do not have a problem.
fine with me.
Because
Yeah, I
I know
don't have a
what
problem.
kind of work
You can.
culture you have, and it's really very grateful for you that you took out time out of your busy schedule, because I know what kind of work schedule you have right now. Okay, anyway, so there's another question which is there, that can we get good exposure in a debt listed company? So maybe Juzair, you can answer this. A debt listed company, can we get good exposure there? So this is another question asked by Pooja Sharma.
So again, it doesn't depend which it is, a listed or a listed equity or a debt listed company. It all depends upon the profile. Because in our team also we have 14 people actually, and everyone is handling a different profile. So, for example, some people are handling foreign subsidiaries wherein they don't have a touch of the Indian laws at all. Secondly, many people are handling governance related matters. So again, there is not any uh, touch with the Indian laws. So it all depends on which company do you go and what work do you get. So you need to know what work will you get. Like you need to have a good research before joining any company.
Okay.
Companies are good actually, because all companies are good if you see from the positive side. But if you don't get the work which you are expecting, then you won't have that work satisfaction. That will demotivate you.
Okay. Okay, so Muskan, your query, how also, like, sir, during these lockdown, we are not getting many options to work as trainee. Also through online interview, how can we work about the work culture? Know about the work culture. Okay, so again, Muskan, answering to this query, you can get in touch. Like as I said, Facebook, LinkedIn. That's another good area where you can get in touch and you get to know who are interning there. So you'll have to do research in that, so that would be easy for you to get in touch, and that's how you can get to know about the work culture as far as during this at least lockdown time period. Then a peculiar query which personally I would love to take it, that your views on the amendment in rule 8A regarding the company secretary. So Vivek, I see that smile, so would you like to share your thoughts? Then definitely Shashank and I can also contribute to that. Rule 8A.
So basically, see, that is a very controversial topic actually going on in the market. Everyone is asking me the same thing. So maybe, sir, whatever they have decided, we can't change it now. But from the people think that we won't get enough jobs because of that particular amendment. So rather than that, I feel let's make sure that we have that proper skills, proper knowledge, and we are capable of selling our own self, because at the end we are our own brand. We CS is a brand actually, and when we give our CV to any company, we are selling our own self. So let's try and take it in a, like, not see the negativity actually that we won't get jobs and thinking a lot of stuff about that. Let's see that let's build up our own self. Let's create our own skills and then pitch ourselves in different companies. So I don't take it in a bad way actually.
Okay, okay. So
ठीक है, like,
Shashank, would you like to contribute something to this?
Is it regarding which came some 6 months earlier and we had
Yes,
mentioned about it on
yes,
Facebook?
yes, yes,
Yes, the company secretaries are going to lose their jobs.
yes.
Yeah, so again, I would like to mention that Companies Act is not the only thing that we have to look forward to. So you have already mentioned you have your friends who are in mutual funds. I have my friends who are in SME listing. So there are so many things to be done. And in
Absolutely.
fact, I became a public speaker only after I had joined CS. I had never
Uh,
thought that I would be taking sessions or I would be on the webinar, you know, in front of the people and I would be speaking. But here I am today. So even public speaking has come to me by the CS Institute. मतलब the CS profession has helped me to become a public speaker. So सिर्फ एक जगह से अगर मैं ये mindset से चलूँ तो फिर आगे नहीं बढ़ पाऊंगा मैं. So we have to leave certain things, and
Absolutely.
it is also your caliber. It is also your
Absolutely.
caliber. If you create an environment कि जहाँ पे उनको लगे कि सीएस की जरूरत है, जैसे वो लिक्विडेटर साहब ने कहा था कि सीएस नहीं आता है तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. जिस दिन से ये शुरू हो गया कि सीएस आता है तो बहुत फर्क पड़ता है, सीएस नहीं आता है ना तो हम लोग यहाँ वहाँ हो जाते हैं, तो उस दिन कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. कंपनी को एप्लीकेबल है, कंपनी को एप्लीकेबल नहीं है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. दे आर गोइंग टू हैव यू, एंड नॉट ओनली वन, दे आर गोइंग टू हैव एज मेनी एज दे वांट.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this one thing you and Cried also started in 2014 when Companies Act 2013 was getting notified. So a
Yes,
lot of Dharna
yes.
protections and all and happened. But personally, what I feel that if company secretary is just about a section or just about a mandatory requirement in the company law, then I feel we are doing injustice to our profession. You see, at that point of time, I'd shared a very post which had gone viral also, that जब तीन प्रोफेशंस की बात होती है, सी एस एन सी डब्ल्यू ए, दो तीनों बराबर है, बट नॉर्मली वी से दैट चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स ज्यादा है, कंपनी सेक्रेटरी, देन वी टॉक अबाउट
बड़ा भाई।
कॉस्ट एंड वर्क अकाउंटेंट। एंड दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम आई हैड मेंशन दैट जब अपन ये हायरार्की बनाते हैं, तो आप देखो मिस चंदा कोचर इज वाज अ शी इज अ कॉस्ट एंड वर्क अकाउंटेंट, राइट? एंड आईसीआईसीआई बैंक को वो उस टाइम पे हेड कर रहे थे, एंड उनके अंडर में कितने चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स थे, लाइक आईसीआईसीआई बैंक इज वन ऑफ द टॉप company which go for campus placement of ICAI, right? So that's what I feel, that we are not just about a particular section or a particular about a provision. That's about how we sell ourselves. So if we confine ourselves only to the Companies Act, only to that particular section, कि वो section रहेगा तो हमें job मिलेगा, so then it becomes a little problematic. I think you are confining, basically आप अपने लिए खुद hurdle create करते हो. So diversify, have as much as exposure you can, because and like how Shashank mentioned, आप अपनी presence को feel कराओ, and आपका presence कब feel होगा, when you are going to do diversified work. And like when I said that the promoter had called me last year कि CS क्या करेगा, खाली compliance ही तो करेगा. So when I mentioned him that no, CS taxation का काम भी जानता है, वो आपके business matter को भी handle करेगा. So we don't have to be just that company law consultant, company law advisor. We have to be the transaction advisors also. Merger करना है कि merger नहीं करना है, right? If we can get into that decision making part gradually, definitely we will not be worried about rule 8A, because आप top company secretaries को देखो, जितने अपने अच्छे qualified company secretaries हैं, none of them were worried about that. I'm not saying जो worried है उनके ऊपर मैं कोई ऐसे comment नहीं कर रहा, but this is my personal view that we shouldn't get worried about rule 8A. Definitely initially थोड़ा crunch होता है, but I feel if you have your caliber, definitely you will pull it up for sure, for sure. Yeah,
आनंद, आई वांट टू ऐड वन थिंग मोर
sure, sure,
कि
sure.
जब कंपनीज एक्ट 2013 आया, उसके पहले कितने सारे बिल्स आए थे जो कंपनीज एक्ट को चेंज करना चाहते थे, लेकिन उस टाइम पे तो आई वाज नॉट अ कंपनी सेक्रेटरी, प्रोबेबली यू वर नॉट अ कंपनी सेक्रेटरी, तो कितने सारे कंपनी सेक्रेटरीज थे जिन्होंने वो बिल ऑलरेडी पढ़ लिया था. सो देयर वर ओनली, मतलब जो हमारे, हम लोग जिनको बोलते हैं ना, ये हमारे भगवान है हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट के, या ये दे आर द लीडर्स ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूट, उन लोगों ने जितनी बार भी बिल आया, भले वो पास हुआ कि नहीं पास हुआ, हर बार पढ़ा. बिकॉज जिस दिन कंपनीज एक्ट 2013 आ जाते हैं, तुरंत आपको क्लाइंट कॉल करके पूछेगा कि क्या है. उस दिन आप नहीं बोल सकते अरे आज ही आया है, अभी 2 मिनट पहले आया है, मेरे को लेट मी स्टडी सम. So that is
Absolutely.
not going to happen. So उन
Absolutely.
लोगों ने जितनी बार बिल आया हर बार पढ़ा, वो बिल ठीक है पास नहीं हुआ. फाइनली कंपनीज एक्ट 2013 आया, तब पास हुआ. हाँ ठीक है, उस टाइम पे मैं स्टूडेंट था, मैंने बिल नहीं पढ़ा था, बिकॉज आई वाज इन माय ओन ड्रीम लैंड कि आज जब आ जाएगा तब देखेंगे, बट दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क.
एब्सोल्युटली. सो एज अ प्रोफेशनल जब हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं सामने से प्रोफेशनल की तरफ से कि उनकी तरफ से बेस्ट हमें मिले, सो व्हेन एज अ प्रोफेशनल वी आर डिलीवरिंग, वी आर गिविंग आवर सर्विसेज, इवन वी विल हैव टू बी द बेस्ट सो दैट वी कैन गेट द बेस्ट. अदरवाइज लाइक ज़ारा के स्टोर में जाके आप वो बिग बाजार का प्राइस एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करोगे. क्यों नहीं करोगे? बिकॉज इट इज प्रोवाइडिंग यू द क्वालिटी. यू गो टू फ्रेंच कनेक्शन इट. सो दिस जस्ट एग्जांपल दैट आई एम गिविंग, दैट वो बोलते हैं कि डव या लाइफ बॉय, आप खुद डिसाइड करो where you have to be. So that's there. I think we have catered a lot of questions which is there, and I really thank the students for being a kind audience there, and for your overwhelming participation. Frankly, when we had started, we thought that some 30-40 students would be there, and good overwhelming response we had got from you all. Thank you all the students, and I really thank Shashank and Juzair for taking out time. And it is not just that 2 hour session which we had taken here from 5 to 7, but a lot of efforts and the homework which both of you had done to make this session possible, whether it's going through each and every form which was sent by the participants and understanding their needs. Thank you very much, and I really appreciate your time and effort. So with this we wrap up our this session. So next Sunday we will again come up with something new, again with the Learn, Create and Help series, maybe some other topic, some other speaker, and to maximize your knowledge and for your value addition. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you for
sir.
having us.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.